Hi guys, so this video I've been releasing after a long time. I was on, let's say, winter vacations for 2 months, corona vacations for more than 2 decades, I guess. The amount that we have spent with this corona, I think, is getting longer and longer. Today's video is not regarding the international politics, but rather it's regarding with Pakistani politics, especially the party which is the ruling party at the moment, PTI, how they have come into power, how they have been performing after this since 3 years or 2.5 years, more or less. PTI was a good party. The people were looking at PTI with hope. And unfortunately, Mr. Khan has given tremendous hope to the people. He was like, I'll do anything, I'll do everything. But unfortunately, they haven't been able to successfully accomplish their manifesto, which is very disappointing for the people of Pakistan. The youth have outrageously voted for them. The people who have never been to polling stations before have actually voted for them. That is quite acceptable. They were the hope, and they have tremendously dented the hopes of the people. I mean, they haven't been able to accomplish whatever they've said in the past. Nothing has been accomplished successfully. Even the 10% of that have not been accomplished. I don't know, maybe they have overcommitted. They have overcommitted, I guess. People were expecting a whole lot of things from them, but they have performed like hell. First of all, I have never been a big admirer of Imran Khan, to be honest. I've always felt that guy is, the people who are looking at him as the alternative, they must have to ask him first the questions that how would you accomplish all this that you have been committing before, when he was launching himself since 2011, where a big gathering at Minar-e-Pakistan was held. He was supported very heavily by the establishment. He was supported very heavily by the superlative management, and still they have been supporting him. I mean, there's no point of supporting him anymore, because he don't have the plan. He didn't have the plan at the time he was committing, and he still don't have any plans. He was just there to say Mr. Nawaz was bad, Mr. Zardari was bad, and all the other parties are bad. I am the only solution. He was not the solution. To be the solution, you have to give the real roadmap to the people, to the establishment, that this is how we're going to solve this problem. He didn't, and unfortunately nobody even asked him, how would you do that? Along with the famous people, there are people around him who always say, these are the looters, we will do that, just like in a blink of an eye. But it can't be done. His theory was simple. Whenever government increases prices of the goods in the market, it benefits their own fortunes and they become rich. The petrol increases, Prime Minister becomes rich. Anything increases, Prime Minister becomes rich. So this was the theory, and people have actually said yes to it. The answer was affirmative from all the nation, from the whole nation. The answer was affirmative. People believe in this simple theory. This is very simple. Okay, if these looters go out from the country, we come into the power, we stop this corruption, and everything will be sorted out. That's not the problem. I have always maintained this point of view, that corruption is not the biggest problem that Pakistan has. I've always maintained this. They said Zardari has that much money in the Swiss banks, and I'll take them in. Murad released a statement. We will get them the next day, very next day, when Khan will come into the power. We will get this $200 billion again back in Pakistan. We will give $100 billion to the West, and from those remaining $100 billion, we will rectify the problems. This is not gonna happen, and this has not happened, unfortunately. How Zardari has $200 billion in Swiss bank accounts? Do you know that how much $200 billion makes in total? Even Bill Gates, I think, don't have the fortunes of $200 billion. Zardari, Nawaz Sharif, they are not even amongst the richest of the country, of the world. They are nowhere in the top most hundred most in the top 100 most people. There is no name of Zardari and Nawaz Sharif. So how could they have $200 billion in their accounts? Maximum they have $2 billion, $3 billion, $5 billion. Pakistan's debt is $105 billion around approximately. So if you get $5 billion from Nawaz and Zardari both, so it makes it again $100 billion. So you are still standing with $100 billion debt. So how will you solve the problems? So the corruption is not the biggest problem that Pakistan has. Pakistan has three main problems: health, law, justice, it means, and education. If you solve these three problems, you'll become good. He used to criticize, Mr. Khan used to criticize making of roads, building the roads, building the motorways, metro buses is not good for the country. I think these are all good. If you have a good road, a metro bus service, it impacts your commuters, it impacts the people of Pakistan, it impacts the people of the country. Wherever you build these things, it is for the good of the people. So this whole circle is joined together. They all meets up at one end. So you have to make these things, and these three pillars of a state has to be maintained. You have to work on these: education, health, and justice. Provide speedy justice, healthcare, brilliant healthcare facilities should be provided to the people, and quality education has to be provided. Mr. Khan doesn't have not dealt with this at all. He doesn't have the guts. He doesn't have the skills to do that. And even his team is a very mediocre sort of a team. So you have to understand. Look, his commitments were, when he came into the power, when he was actually striving for the power, his commitments were like, we will shift this seaside from where it is behind Chakiwara to earn the foreign exchange. Yeah, that'll be good. How? I mean, this is sarcastic. Yes, this is sarcastically I'm saying that, but his views were so big that people actually believed them. I was very sure when he came into power that he will not be able to do anything. To be honest, his government is the worst as compared to the previous governments. Yes, Zardari and Nawaz are not good. They were not good at all. But Khan's tenure so far has made them angels in the people, in the eyes of the people, just because he overcommitted just to get into power. And those who bring him into the power, they have not asked any single question that how you going to solve the problem of the country. And that is the biggest blunder. The person they have chosen to sort out our problems was not the right choice. The choice was bad. And now people say that Mr. Khan is himself is very, very, very clear. No major corruption has been engaged against Mr. Khan so far. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. But you don't need a imandar bloke for this job. You need a imandar and a skillful person to achieve your goals, to run the country, to lead the country. You need a skillful and at the same time sincere person. Only sincerity isn't gonna work. Only skill isn't gonna work. Skill plus sincerity, amalgamation of both gelled together makes a good leader. I hope this clears. Thank you. More on that to come in the next videos.